Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, June the 9th, 2023. Friday, June the 9th. Okay, so now we have, the dinner. Devon and Abby invited Tucker and Ashley out to dinner, and they have their dinner. And Ashley promptly says, "You know what? We want to tell you this news before you hear it somewhere else. Tucker and I are getting married, and soon." Abby's mouth drops. She looks at Devon. Devon looks at her. She goes, she says nothing. And Ashley says, "Well, I was expecting more of a reaction than that." And Abby says, "Is this a fake marriage or what? Because you told," she goes, "No, Abby, this is not going to be fake. This is going to be real. But you're doing this to get at Uncle Jack." She goes, "No, Tucker's a good guy. He's sincere. And this marriage is mutually beneficial." And so she goes, "I knew it. I knew you were somehow coerce my mother into marrying you." And she's just all attacking Tucker. And Ashley's like, "No, Abby, that's not how it's happening. It's not how it's going down. Bottom line, I'm protecting my family's company, and I'm this, that, and the other." She goes, "And I'm going to offer Tucker an executive position to come work with me." And Abby says, like, "Wait, what?" And then I'm trying to get Jack unseated as, she told Abby too much because Abby cannot keep her mouth shut. She can't. She's going to tell. And she goes, "I want to know, do I have your support?" And this is before Diane's going to be giving her news. "Oh, I'm promoted to a senior position," right? She goes, "I need strength, and Tucker is going to provide that to me." So Abby says, "I knew you were after Jabot, and this is your way. You have manipulated my mother into marrying you and bringing you on board to the company." And Tucker says, "Quite the contrary." No, Ashley says, "Quite the contrary, Ashley. Abby, Tucker has tried to talk me out of anything Jabot." He goes, and Abby looks, "What?" He goes, "Yes, I've told Ashley, just walk away from Jabot. We could do our own thing. She doesn't need this stress." So Abby says, "I don't like the idea you telling my mother to walk away from a company that's rightfully hers too." See, Abby was going to think of anything to go against anything Tucker says. 100%, right? So Ashley says, "Yes, he did try to talk me out of it, Abby. He's telling the truth. But no, this is important to me. I won't be walking away." And so anyway, they don't get into any heated words. Devon is cool with just saying that, like, "Oh, okay." And so Devon says, "I'm sorry for doubting you, man." Because they were accusing Tucker of manipulating Ashley. And Ashley says, "He says he's in love with me." And she nudges him. So, and I'm thinking she didn't say, "And I love him too." She absolutely did not say that at all. Because Abby says, "He's using you." Ashley says, "If anything, Abby, I'm using him. But I'm starting to see the good in Tucker," right? And so Abby just looks. And I'm thinking Tucker's just sitting there like, "Look, she can say that. She using me because, look, I'm getting ready to be Mrs. Ashley Abbott, Mr. Ashley Abbott, because she gonna be Mrs. Tucker Carlson, and she gonna put me right on in. He's got money to Jabot. That would be weird if he and Diane, that was their plan. They both could be laughing to the bank. They both take over Jabot. That would be funny, everybody. Funny. So anyway, and Abby looks at her and says, sorry, I misjudged you too." Begrudgingly, right? And that's only because Devon was there, and that's Devon's father. See, Abby is not truly Abby in front of Devon. She tries to taper herself down. Now, if it were Chad, she was running rings around Chad, pouting and everything. She don't do that with Devon. Mm-mm. She acts like she has some kind of common sense, right? So their dinner ends amicably. It's pretty cool. And then Kyle comes home, and Kyle decides that he tells Jack and Diane right off. Summer knew she did it, and Jack was like, she what? She let Diane, oh, and him and Jack were all bashing Summer and this, and this, and I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Diane says, wait a minute. Summer's not to blame for this. Phyllis is. Her mother put her between a rock and a hard place. Summer honestly thought her mother was dead. So I could understand that when she found out she wasn't, okay. But Kyle, who do you think she was going to choose, me or her mother? And then she told Kyle, and Kyle, let me just tell you this. If the tables were turned, and I'm surprised Diane said this, this is why I know they're setting Diane up for a hard fall, because her path, she right now is seeming like she's the paragon of virtue, right? She says, if the tables were reversed and you had to choose between me or Phyllis, who would you choose, Kyle? He does. Right? Yeah. Who would you choose? Not who would you choose? Who have you chosen since she came back into your life? You've chosen Diane. Now, who would you choose? Who have you chose? Period. Chosen, period. Seriously. And I'm like, you hypocrite. I can't stand all y'all, right? So now we have Summer meets Chance in the park. Some nerve. Summer has some nerve. Chance, but he goes, you have known all along. You got there and you moved your mother before we got there. And she's like, he goes, where is she, Summer? I don't know. You know you helped her get out of there. And I would do it again. But I don't know where she's at now. I need to know, what do we got? Chances, no. There is no cooperation, Summer. None with you. And she's like, and then Chance gets this phone call because, of course, what's his name? Kirsten has already called the police and say he wants to report an assault, right? So Chance has to, handle this phone call. Is that about my mom? Is that about my mom, Chance? And he looks at her. Oh my God. So she's sitting down on the park bench and Daniel comes and Daniel says, what happened? She goes, what had happened with Kyle? And she goes, oh, he's not happy. I had to tell him the whole story. And now I don't even know if I have a marriage. And Mom, I had to move her. And Daniel said, where is she? She goes, I don't know. I just got her out of there. And what if we don't see our mom ever, Daniel? I can't lose her forever. What if she's gone for good? And he goes, okay, she's not going to be gone for good, Summer. And she goes, but we got to help her. We got to come up with a plan. And he goes, what plan, Summer? There's no plans that we could come up with. It's got to be a plan to beat the murder charge. If there was a witness that could come forward to say they saw the whole thing and Mom was defending herself, that would work. He goes, but Summer, you and I know no one witnessed that. She goes, we may know, but the police don't. If we could find someone, we could pay them and they could say they saw the whole thing. Commit perjury, right? And Daniel says, Summer, there's all sorts of wrong with that plan. All sorts of wrong. Too many. Oh no, Summer, that's not the plan. Daniel, that would work. We just have to. And I'm thinking, oh my God, Daniel, just step away, step back, understand your sister is ready to go to jail right with your mother. You are not, so just leave it alone. Because what Summer is talking about is committing a stinking paper trail and committing the opportunity for someone to blackmail her and Daniel and Phyllis. Open it up for blackmail. That's definitely what would happen. Oh my, when I heard that come out of her mouth, I said, no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because you know it's not going to be the EMT. He wouldn't come back. Because I don't understand why Phyllis is saying we need to find the EMT. The EMT participated in claiming, knowing that there was dead bodies from the morgue in that ambulance, or and the driver was a dead body, right? So no, the EMT is not the answer. The PCPD should want to be, GCPD should want to arrest him, right? This mess is getting messier and messier with Phyllis. So now Chance goes to Crimson Light. Nick is trying to fix the espresso machine so he can get back to Sharon. He can get back to Sharon. Nikki's talking to him about, son, did you get your hands checked? Oh, no, Mom, just leave me alone about that. So whatever. So Chance comes in and says, you couldn't do it, could you, Nick? You couldn't do what I told you, and that's stay out of it. What are you talking about, Chance? You had to go see Kirsten in his room. Yeah, I did. I had to say my piece, and I told him he needed to leave town, and he needed to leave tomorrow. And what else happened, Nick? What do you mean, what else happened? What else did you do, Nick? Are you not listening, Chance? I told you, I strongly suggested to him that he leave town. And how did you do that? I don't know what you're getting at. And then all of a sudden you hear this. So are you just gonna talk to my assailant? Or are you going to arrest him? And Chance turns around and he sees Kirsten. And Nick sees him all beaten up. And Chance looked at him and he says, and Nick looked, he says, that didn't happen. He goes, I hit the wall. Because he knows, Kirsten says, look at his hands. And of course, they're all bruised up, could be. And so he goes, that's because I hit the wall. Because Chance looks at Nick like, see? And Nick says, I hit the wall, and that's it. He goes, yeah, he hit the wall once. And after he hit the wall, he did all this to me. So he goes, are you trying to do favorites? He goes, Nick, I'm going to have to arrest you. You're going to have to come. No, I'll come down after I go see Sharon. That's when I'll come. Chances, no, you coming right now. Right? Nick. And so before Kirsten came, Chance told Nick, let me tell you something, Nick. See, you like to take things into your own hands, and I will not have a repeat of what happened to Ashlyn Locke, because I took your word for it. And we all know how that ended. Like we all know you did it, really, right? He just got off. So he goes, that won't happen again, Nick. And Nick is just standing there. So when Chance has to arrest him, he looks at Kirsten, and Kirsten just breaks a smile. Like, I got you. Now, had Chance turned around, he'd have seen that smile. Now, you are beaten up like this. Are you going to be that close to Nick? Are you going to be walking around like that saying, arrest him, arrest him? No, it's a setup. And Chance might even in the back of his mind think it's a setup. But see, follow the evidence. Just bruised, badly bruised knuckles, right? Could be broken. Nikki said it could be broken. And look at his face. It matches, doesn't it? So what you gonna do? We got to follow the evidence. And this man's saying you beat him like that. And my whole thing is Nick should be like, and he let me, right? I was able to do all that and not a punch on me, not a scratch. He's that much of a wuss, right? He can't even land a punch in at all. I'm just saying, right? But it's like Chance said, had you stayed away from him, nothing could be coming into question. Nothing. But Nick can't do what he's told. He just can't. I know what I'm gonna do. Okay. So now you're being put in taken to jail, but let's face it, he's gonna be out within a matter of hours. But that leaves Sharon vulnerable because Newman's security ain't nothing, right? So Nick needs to tell Chance as he's driving him to the police station, Chance, call Sharon. Let him know, her know, so that she is diligent, vigilant. Because while you doing this to me, Kirsten has an opportunity to get at her. Chance is supposed to care about Sharon. So we shall see, right? Anyway, I just shook my head. I said, yeah, Nick, you played right into it because what's one of the things that Kirsten said to Nick when he showed up at the hotel? He said, took you long enough because if it's one thing you are, is you're predictable. He told Nick, you predictable. Surprised it took you this long to get here. He had a plan to provoke Nick the entire time, and Nick fell right into it. Newman. So anyway, that was Friday. That was it for Friday. Look, and they showed scenes. Of course, Faith can't be found now. Sharon is frantic. And what did I tell you, everybody? I'm telling you, everybody, I need to be writing for these soaps. What did I say? You're going to see Audra and Kyle. And what did the scenes show? Audra and Kyle. Because, see, Kyle can't do what's right. Kyle's going to go sleep with her to get back at Summer. And Kyle has let this cycle because Audra is unstable where relationships are concerned. He's letting this cycle in. I'm going to love what Audra does to Kyle. She's going to run so many circles around him, but you want to know the problem? The problem for Audra is going to be Kyle's mama. Diane is going to take one look at her and say, heck no. Heck no. So that's going to be good. That's going to be good, everybody, is the Audra and Diane showdown. Just like Phyllis when she took down Sally and Tara, Audra will be taken, Diane will be taking down Audra, period. So anyway, let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner, LaShunta says, Nick shaking my head. He wants Nick out of the way. You can't tell him nothing. I know Nick is so hard-headed. He can't get mad at Victor. Victor, he's telling the truth. Was that about Sally? I get tickled. Phyllis told Nikki and Victor their security ain't nothing. The man is dating. That man is baiting Nick. Yes, he was. Why Sharon don't have protection when he got released? It should have been mandatory to stay away. He stay away. Nick, you don't scare nobody. Victor used to get things done. I thought they sent Faith away. Vicky wants those kids gone because of Nate. Johnny and Lucy, Johnny likes Lucy and he was bonding with Connor. They were talking about boarding school and how they didn't like it, right? It was lame. She knows Billy hated it because of Jill. Boarding school, yeah. Vicky is selfish. Vic is selfish. Those kids have not told her that. I don't believe. They said, look, we going to summer camp, and I know after summer camp, we want to be peace out, send away to boarding school. That just couldn't have happened. I thought we were going to see some kids this summer. A shame she's so wrapped up in a man. And Sherry says, Victoria wants to get rid of those kids, period. Until Nate came along, she was holding on to Johnny with dear life. I know. Johnny, she just couldn't breathe without Johnny, you know, when Chelsea was interested in Johnny. Now we got to send him away. I'm shaking my head too, y'all. That's crazy for me. But that's it for Comic Corner. Comic Corner. I'll be back on Monday with another daily recap of The Young and the Restless.